last guy to knock a revolution. I've led a few of those, you know. I admire revolutionaries. I respect evolutionaries. They are the lifeblood of the bloodline. So when Solo Sikoa seized the moment and became the tribal chief in Roman Reigns' absence, I didn't like it. I don't even think I respected it. But something deep down in me admired it. That took some forward thinking.
I'm the chief now!
Now we all know what happened when the OG bloodline, led by Roman Reigns, faced the new rogue bloodline, led by Solo Sikoa, in the War Games. But there was a discussion here while planning the WWE 2K25 showcase that has me, your wise man, admittedly a little intrigued. What if War Games was limited to only OG bloodline, no honorary uses, versus Solo's rogue bloodline, no honorary uses? It's 4-on-4 Roman Reigns. The Usos, Sami Zayn, versus Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and the most dangerous new competitor WWE has ever seen, the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu. What happens then? This is your moment to determine who is the real bloodline. This is your moment to determine who is the only bloodline. This is where the bloodline's legacy and the bloodline's future is in your hands.
The following contest is the men's War Games match. The rules of the match are as follows. 2 teams will be contained in separate cages, with 1 member of each team starting the match. At regular intervals, alternating members from each team will be released to enter the match. The team with the advantage will be the first to have a member released into the match. Once all competitors have entered, War Games officially begins. The match can be won by pinfall or submission. Exiting the cage will result in a forfeit. And now, let the War Games begin!
The bloodline is in chaos. This wrestling dynasty is on the brink of collapse.
This conflict goes far beyond acknowledgement, Michael. This man and the original bloodline are fighting for their livelihood.
Introducing first, from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 242 pounds, main event, Jay Uso!
The original bloodline was created with the wisdom of the elders, but this man and the new bloodline are destroying what was built.
Well, this conflict was unfathomable until now. The new bloodline is ready to hunt.
And from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu!
The new bloodline does not live by a code. They do not act with honor. This man says the OG bloodline will suffer the consequences of their disloyalty.
We are looking at a heavy hitter with pure malice in his eyes.
And he's looking to make his name at the expense of the old guard of the bloodline.
The OG bloodline have never faced a threat like this.
The island of relevancy is no more. The OG bloodline is fighting bloodthirsty savages who will feast on whatever they can.
There will be no hesitation in pulling the trigger, and the OGs have got to match that ferocity.
And gentlemen, it is time for Bloodline War Games. Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu.
Both of these sides have a deep and abiding hatred for one another. Solo felt he was held down. His crew never called up during Roman's time as the tribal chief.
But most of the men on Roman's side were unceremoniously removed from the bloodline courtesy of Solo Sikoa. And those who weren't have faced continued attacks from the new bloodline.
And the winners tonight are very likely to be considered the true bloodline by the WWE Universe. Let's see who comes out on top tonight. Got to be a bit tough for Jay to stand up amongst this team. Some close allies, but some enemies he's yet to forgive.
We've seen the wars that Jay has waged with his cousin Roman, with his brother Jimmy, but he needs to put that aside tonight.
And Jay has the title wins and big victories that earned him the main event moniker. But if he's the one to put away the new bloodline, he will truly be the main event of War Games.
Setting up for something here, and the hesitation to deliver an attack ends up being costly. Oh! A quick response to Jay's offense. Only seconds away from giving their team the numbers advantage. Ooh, and he manages to reverse. I think tonight is going to be a breakout performance for Jacob Fatu. So much raw talent in that young man.
Every bloodline member, new and old, is a generational athlete. But Jacob seems to be a step ahead of every one of these men at times.
Many already believe Jacob can take the mantle as the leader of the bloodline. If he's the one earning the victory tonight, his time as the tribal chief may come sooner than anyone thinks.
A lot to prove from the new bloodline tonight. Gentlemen, do you think they can do it?
Absolutely, Cole. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tonga Loa, and Tama Tonga have been competing on a different level as of late.
They have won some major matches and earned titles too, but I worry they might not be as ready for War Games as Roman's crew. There's a lot more big match experience in general on Roman's side.
No, that may be true, but Solo's side has youth and a devil-may-care attitude that can work out tremendously inside War Games. I expect Solo's side to go all out here inside this sadistic structure. Suplex.
8 men in this war, but one seems to be fighting his own internal battle. That man, Jimmy Uso.
He's currently on Team Roman, but this might be an instance of the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Well, Jimmy had clashes with Roman. He went to war with his brother Jay, but the men who put Jimmy on the shelf for months stand across the ring. Jimmy's out for every member of Solo's squad tonight, and he'll deal with the rest of his fractured family later.
Tonga Loa now entering the fray of Bloodline War Games.
Just got thrown around like a sack of you-know-what. Got him in the corner now.
Right in the jaw. What a shot. And he's looking out of sorts now.
No escape from these punches.
Solo Sikoa's group at a decided disadvantage. His side is less experienced inside this structure.
But look at how young and hungry Team Solo is. In particular, Tama Tonga is a real wild card. He's like a hyena locked in a cage with a bunch of raw meat.
I even asked Tama backstage if he was looking forward to this match, and he just said to me, yeah.
Great jerk.
From the top.
Quick strike to the lower body. Oh! Shows great wherewithal there.
And that was taking the attack to the competition with that one. Solo's the color leader of the new bloodline, has called himself the head of the table, called himself the tribal chief.
And when he asked the WWE Universe to acknowledge him, we're hearing more and more of the crowd agree.
Well, Solo has grown in power with big wins and title reigns, but this is his biggest test yet. If his crew can defeat Romans, Sikoa will be everything he says he is and more.
On top of the cage, long way down.
A fall means you're either back among the wolves or losing War Games.
And Tagaloa gets cut down there.
Yeah, Zayn put a little extra oomph into that one.
Through the ring door and adding a bit of leverage to the situation.
He's headed up. Might be going toward the top of this War Games structure.
If there's one man here with the most to prove, it's got to be Tagaloa.
We've often seen that the man with the most to prove ends up being the difference maker in War Games.
Many folks think Tagaloa is just a foot soldier for Solo. But let's not forget,
Blast off!
He's made it to the top of the War Games cage. Only one place for him to go next. On top of the War Games cage, but remember, escaping means forfeit.
He's up there for a reason. An escape is not an option.
And Tagaloa's headed. Mason to the top.
let's think about whose intentions here.
DDT! This could put a stop to Zayn. Old bloodline, new bloodline. Both sides engaging in a brutal battle.
Every one of these men is fighting with every fiber in their being to be considered the true bloodline.
Time is ticking away. Shortly, we'll have a fresh competitor to even the odds. He's headed to the top now.
Top rope.
Sami Zayn grew so much as a member of the bloodline, it really gave him a sense of self-worth.
Yeah, but part of that self-worth came from defying Roman, from defeating the Usos, which begs the question, and I wish there was a better way to phrase this. Is Sami Zayn still Usi?
I think he is, Corey. Sami seems elated to be fighting alongside Jay and even Jimmy. Those are his dogs.
Clearly knows the damage that has been done from the top.
Numbers about to be even, but not before he brings in a little backup from the outside. And another stiff shot to the head here. Oh, right to the kidneys.
Oh, wrists captured.
Tagaloa put a stamp on this one.
And guys, this is what War Games is all about. Both bloodlines leaving it all in the ring.
The old guard and new school trading their biggest shots in one of the most dangerous environments in all of WWE.
OG bloodline leader Roman Reigns has so much on the line in this one, guys.
Here we go again.
And looking at Jacob Fatu.
Absolutely spiked DDT.
We've got to acknowledge these fans, a packed arena, and we're hearing every single voice.
It is loud and it is mad in here.
And in just a moment, the numbers advantage set to come into play here.
Nasty boot by Zayn. And that could make his top.
And
Uso.
searching the ring now. This can't be good.
Jimmy sealed us up.
And looking at Jey Uso.
Is that Uso? Uso splash.
Jimmy might have just finished things.
Tama
From the top. Intense look in the eyes as he calculates his next strike.
And entering into an absolute war zone, giving the troops the boost they need.
There's not a single person sitting in this arena.
It's pandemonium, Cole.
Shotgun drop kick.
Big right hand from main event. And Jey Uso having a little fun with another.
And Jey Uso on the wrong end of some ruthless offense there. Climbing the wall of the War Games here. This might not be a good idea. Turns it around. He begins to climb the wall of the War Games cage. And now from way up.
This one, Uso.
You can pick yourself up after this
Placed against the turnbuckles. That's our final competitor. The door is shut. This is War Games.
I can't even begin to fathom all of the cake. Oh my God! Diving moonsault!
How much more can you take?
Yeah, I don't know how much longer a good defense will even matter at this point.
But his torso continues to be the target here.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to mount any sort of attack for him now. Trapped in the corner. Back to the neck wall blow. Good night.
Looking to get airborne here.
From the top.
Twist their opponent.
Stop to the tummy. Tummy? Close fist punch to the jaw. That's one way to break up a move.
He's able to counter that.
Some gouging going on. It's unnecessary.
But now here's Jey Uso. And he kicks out of the pin at one.
I am shaking my head in disbelief over how he missed.
That was fit. Oh, shocking inside kick.
This could be it.
Kicks out before the 2 count. And Team Roman wins the War Games.
The new bloodline has fallen. Unbelievable. Roman's original bloodline crew found a way to work together and reestablish their dominance.
You may not know who your brother or enemy is by their last name, but when you're in battle, look to your left, look to your right. That's